Item 8.0, public commentary. We have 4 speakers this evening. First up will be Jesse Ditmore, and then second up will be Bill Armstrong. Yep, right there.
I want to first and foremost just say thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. All I ask, and I won't take too much of your time, I just want to say please hear us out and don't give up on the Redskins. That's all I'm asking. My whole entire family, including myself, went to Anderson and represented the Redskin mascot. Brock Vogel's tragic death reminded me how important the Redskin mascot meant to me and so many around this community. The Redskin mascot is a resource in this town. It's a symbol of hope, strength, and respect. My late mother always told me that if we keep taking resources out of the neighborhood, and if we keep diluting the legacies and memories created by this mascot, there's going to be no school left standing. And look, I'm guilty of it too. I thought changing the mascot and being content was me doing it all for the right reasons, but I was wrong. I was wrong. Reinvesting in our community, reinvesting in this mascot is the right choice. Anderson deserves a chance of being great and getting back to what we've always known, getting back to who we are. I respectfully ask that you think long and hard before you cast your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ditmore. Bill Armstrong's up, and then Bryce Phillips.
Good evening, distinguished board. To follow up with what Jesse has brought up, we the people are requesting the Forest Hill School Board take into consideration following the points towards pride, honor, and respect of our students to have the Redskins put back. Number one, the people did not get to vote on such a big decision to change this logo. 2, money will be raised through private donations to place Redskins back. There's no direct cost to the budget of Forest Hill School District. The former board failed to understand the total cost of what this change would be. So now we have the opportunity to turn back that decision, stop the bleeding, and any other future monies donated would then go to mental health support. Thirdly, NAGA, Native American Guardian Association, who has the voice of the federally recognized tribal members in America, has stated that 90% of the tribal members have no problem using the Redskins as a logo, emblem, or icon. They do not ever want to be eradicated. They are willing to give us an official certification from tribal leaders across the nation. Calling a racist move is a direct result of the Democratic narrative, and it is ironic that the critical race theory involves the same wording that we now are removing from the district. Redskin has never been used in a derogatory manner, as they stated. There's actually no proof that we could surmise. Mental health is a major problem in Forest Hills. At this time, anything that can be considered polarizing and hurtful to the students should stop immediately. We believe the former board did not understand, therefore couldn't consider, the absolute negative impact and consequences of their decision to eradicate the Redskin logo. We are asking officially to reinstate the Redskin logo as our culture of pride, honor, and respect of our students here in Forest Hill School District. We also ask that they cease and desist the woke mob chaos and public doxing on social media, as this perpetuates the already stressful situation. Thank you for your time and considerations. Sincerely, the concerned parents, students, both current and former, and certain staff of the Forest Hills community. I thank you for your time. Ms. Hosfeld, we have this for you, and this is all documentation of what we have for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Armstrong. Next up is Bryce Phillips. And then our fourth speaker is Martha Veman.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bryce Phillips. I'm a member of the Greater Cincinnati Native American Coalition. And I guess it's probably obvious that I'm here to urge the board to not even consider the ridiculous notion of readopting an offensive racial slur as a mascot. It's one thing when that's just like exists on inertia, but to decide to re-implement that in 2022 and spend your money on that, I mean, what kind of message does that send about this community? But there's a couple things I want to clarify that I'm not here for. I'm not here to speak in defense of critical race theory. I actually think that the writings of Derek Bell and Robin DiAngelo and people like that are, frankly, overly pessimistic about our ability to overcome racism. Not here to speak in defense of something called the 1619 Project. From what I hear, most historians agree that it's very inaccurate and probably shouldn't be taught in schools. We're just here for basic common sense. And, you know, if this community wants to show the society and show the world that we don't need things like critical race theory, one of the ways you could do that is by permanently bearing the offensive racial slur mascot and just burying that for all time. I can't believe we have to be here saying this. It's sad. And I don't understand this notion that it's some kind of legacy. I'm of Pima descent. You know, one of my ancestors are in my tribe, anyways, not directly, was, Ira Hayes, who held up that flag at Iwo Jima. Like, so we're not some dead thing or some cartoon character. We're an integral part of this nation, and we deserve more respect than that, than to have an explicit racial slur as the mascot for this school. And we've come and we've said it again and again and again. As far as this Native American Guardian Association, it's like 5 people that are getting paid money by big sports teams to say whatever they are told to say for a check. It's just tokenism. Overwhelming majority of Native people do not support this. And that's why we've come out here in numbers to come and say, to really represent how our community feels about this matter going forward. Like I said, it's not partisan. It's not about who people vote for. I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I've been watching the Canadian truckers on the live stream. It's not about. It's just about respect. And it's about having decent values, of teaching respect to the next generation as Americans, so that we don't need things like racial sensitivity training. Let's show that we can move ahead, that we're better than that as a society. Thanks, everyone, for your time, and have a good evening. And I urge you to not even explore a racist Redskin mascot.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Our final speaker is Martha Veman.
Good evening. I want to touch on 2 topics. At last month's meeting, I heard 3 board members say they would not support mask mandates for preschool classrooms where children are not eligible for vaccines because they support individual freedom. They were, in fact, affirming the importance of individualism, which is one of the key tenets of democracy in America. In fact, it was almost 200 years ago that a book called Democracy in America by Alexis de Tocqueville noted this country's love affair with individualism. De Tocqueville also expressed hope that our focus on the self would be tempered by a commitment to community. De Tocqueville knew, as countless others have affirmed since, that our country is strongest when individualism is balanced with service to and even sacrifice for the greater good. Finding the balance between serving the self and serving the community is the continuing challenge of our nation, and I hope that our school board is up to that challenge. Next, I'd like to touch on the topic of mascots. We heard the connection between mental health and mascots. There's only one group in this nation where there's a clear connection between mental health and Native American-based mascots. That is Alaska Native and Native American youth. Throughout the 21st century, this small population has had the highest suicide rate, and it is also the only group where sports mascots that represent them are listed as a contributing factor to poor self-esteem and increasing risk of suicide and suicidal ideation. Native American themed mascots increase the risk of suicide among Native youth. GAP has, Greater Anderson Promotes Peace, of which I'm a co-director, has a document that we will deliver to you tomorrow, prepared by experts on this topic. So before taking any action, please look to the experts to understand this issue. Please understand that the previous board did not make an ill-considered decision. They did not make an ill-considered financial decision. This topic has been studied for 20 years in this community. We know what we're doing, and I believe that the board has made the right decision. And bringing it up again will only increase the divisiveness. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beeman.